Hello everybody, I'm making a video on how to rig out the Gulf Flyer Tuna Candy designed for our Gulf of Mexico yellowfin fishery. So I guess the first thing that I would like to talk about is the line that you are using. I believe that any mono that's 150 pound is sufficient. For this instance, if I'm seeing really big fish, I'm going to be using 200 pound mono. It gets the job done. There's no frills to it. So this works great. But then you can also, if you're feeling you want some more confidence, you can use something like this. So the difference between fluoro and mono is that fluoro is denser, and for our application in the Gulf, you're mainly going to be using fluoro for the abrasion resistance because it's a very, very dense material, and it's good. Like especially this Fluoro Premier, it's nice and it's not too thick, holds up well. But in my opinion, it's more of a confidence booster than anything. So I guess traditionally, how I've seen them rig is something like this. Is simple, peg the tail, hooks right there so it doesn't shoot in, and then this is probably connected to like a swivel, or you definitely need a swivel, or you can attach your swivel right here with like a split ring, and then you can FG knot this. But most of the time, a swivel right here will catch pretty much any fish that's out there. Maybe like the 150s and up might be a little bit more risky, but anything below 100 or 100 pounds is sufficient. So the way I like to rig them is, well, every flyer comes with, or should come with, a rubber washer. It's like a regular piece of some tubing washer. I'm not too sure, but I include this in the package. And so the rigging components is pretty simple. You have your knot. This is a hook. Go with a nice big strong hook, something 4.0, 5.0, 3.0 is fine, but it's a little small for me. And then that follows with this washer that I give, that the package is in there, that gets slid through the middle, so that slides all the way to the hook. And then on top is you have your swivel right here. Now you're wondering, like, Ben, how am I supposed to get this into my flyer? Well, I'm going to show you. So here's your flyer. Here is your juicy, tasty flyer. So what you want to do is going to grab some, 50 or 80 pound mono, something you have laying around, right? And you can see I already kinked it right here. You're going to kink it like this. And I do this to streamline my tackle box, so I don't have to like tie a new one every single time, especially when there's a hot bite. You want to be very quick and very efficient. So I'm going to take this, go to the nose, and I'm going to go through this, go all the way through until you can find it in the belly. Yeah, right here, right? And basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your rig that you already made. You should be making this at home or on the boat on the way out. Like this. You're going to do like some quick knot. I mean, usually I can do this in like probably 20 seconds, but there's a camera in front of me, so it's kind of tough. Just do a quick knot or whatever. Or, whatever floats your boat. And then you're just going to pull it straight through, and it should pop out to the nose, like right here. See? Bam. Hopefully the camera got it. It didn't focus too well, but yeah, you thread it through, and then you're gonna end up with nice flyer. And see that washer keeps the treble hook from shooting in. I really like it when my treble hook is dead center, because when you have your hook at the end, it's gonna sit like this, which is fine. It gets bit, but if it's sitting perfectly like this, like with that nice big treble hook exposed, like you're gonna increase your hookup ratios by a lot. So obviously, you know, cut that little knot that you have at the end right here. You know, cut it, and then you attach this to your main line, you know, to your braid or whatever line you're throwing as your main line. But we're not done yet. So what's gonna, like, I like to throw my flyers and let it sit out there and, you know, just kind of flap it around out there. I'm not really, like, you know, moving this too much. So what happens is this hook's gonna sometimes gonna sag down, and we don't want that. We want this to be as close to our bait as possible, right? So you get one of these rubber bands. These are like for like a hair tie rubber band. You can get like a pack of 1,000 for like $2 at Walgreens, or you can use like a 10-pound mono or something like that. But what you're gonna do is the eye of your hook, which I'm gonna thread this through, and you're gonna go through it, make a little loop, and it's gonna secure this to right here. See, like that, right? Yeah, and I know this is a lot of rigging, but you know, you're catching 100-pound fish. I'm just gonna loop this right here and pull that up, and now you have a very secure fire. I think one thing you can do better is pop this in front of the wing, and then now it's like super secure. Like, look at that. So that's how I would rig my flyer. This treble hook is, I think it's a little big. Yeah, I would get, this is a VMC. I'd go like a 4.0. This is like a 5 or 6.0, but I'd definitely go 4.0. I think a 4.0 ST66 is a perfect application for this. So, and then I'll just chunk this around, and that's pretty much it. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna show you guys another way that you can rig this. I'm gonna probably be providing this setup, like a pre-rigged setup for the flyer. So this is basically a nice hook. This is just a dummy hook that I use that I found, but the washer that it comes with, and this inside is 200-pound mono, crimped on both sides. So you can actually store this pretty nicely. Just have it in one of your boxes or in the bag or something, and then just tie your leader right here, your 100-pound, 80-pound leader. I'd use 100, but tie it right here, and then you're like pretty much good to go. But let me show you the inside, what it looks like, and how you. So basically, I'm just gonna pull this out nice and slowly, and it kind of looks like this. It's just, you know, regular crimp, hook, 200-pound mono. And what you do is you can make a bunch of these, you know, 2, 3, 4 of these. Make sure you measure it out so it's like nice and perfect. But have a bunch of these made, and all you gotta do is, you know, get yourself some mono, some like thick mono or something like that. Thread this through here. There we go. this out, and then you just do like as like the other one. You just kind of do like a little weak knot or something like that. Something simple. And then this is attached, and this will just guide in. This material is very tough. Like, it's not gonna really compromise anything. You're just gonna pull nice, and don't pull fast. Hold it right here, the nose, and just pull slow on that treble hook. I mean, the swivel should pop right out like that. And there you go. So then now your hook is nice and tight to the body. And you can just, you know, tie this to your main line and you're good to go. So yeah. Do you see, you know, flyers being busted around you? You don't want to, you can, like, I've seen people, you know, run out there and just cast and reel and cast and reel, which works. Especially using like a yummy one that sinks, you know, because the yummy is a little bit heavier and cast it further. But what I like to do is cast it out and leave it out there. Just let it sit, and then like once in a while, like kind of like, you know, run it back in and stop, and run it back in and stop. But I've had multiple hits where this thing is just sitting. Like sitting completely still for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes while I'm like drinking a drink or eating like a hamburger or something, you know. And all of a sudden you get blown up and you have to set the hook. Make sure you set the hook. Like, this is not like a Halco where like they just engulf it and all the treble hooks just kind of wrap around their mouths. You have to set the hook. Lean into that. Hold the spool, give it a couple pops, make sure it's buried. But yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. This is not the only way you can rig them. I know there are other ways you can rig them. But this is how I like to do it. It's really efficient. It's a little work, you know, with the rubber band and the washer that I give you. But, you know, it makes a nice looking bait. And like what happens is the fish bites it and it'll pull down and this rubber band will pop. Oh, and one thing, don't use rubber bands like this. They are way too, I guess, strong. You want to use like a weak rubber band, because what happens is if you use a strong rubber band, it's gonna saw through this, cut it in half. But the idea of this is you should catch at least 2 fish on one of these, or at least get like 2 strikes, and it'll be fine. But you know, it's fishing, and sometimes the fish hits it right, it can rip off a wing or it can tear the top section up. But these have been tried and tested, and they're pretty durable compared to others. But thank you guys for watching.